Well, hello, everybody, and welcome. This is a show about how to make serious money as an artist. My name's Maria Brophy, and this is my friend and mastermind partner, Oliver Hoyas, coming from Bulgaria.
That's right.
How you doing, Oliver?
Good. Super excited to be here and talk about my favorite topic. Yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, it's both of our favorite topics. So, just to get started, here's what you can expect for the next 45 minutes. Oliver and I are going to share from two different perspectives how to make serious money as an artist, and that means how to quit your day job and what it takes and different strategies and ways to get there. And the reason I like bouncing these things back and forth between myself and Oliver is because we have different approaches to how to sell art and they all work. And so what I'm going to talk about is I'm going to share three different things, and that is um, multiple streams of income. I'm going to share about print reproductions and how that really does very well for myself and my husband, Drew Brophy. And I'm going to talk about licensing your art. And Oliver, what are you going to talk about today?
I'm going to talk about how you can sell your art without ever leaving your home.
Okay,
Yeah.
love it. Well, a lot of the introverted artists want to hear about that.
Yes.
Yes, a lot of them want to know. And so, all right, well, why don't we start with I'm going to start with multiple streams of income, just this idea of multiple streams of income, because that is what really helped my husband, Drew Brophy, and I start this art business based on his art back in the 90s was and I would say the late 90s is when I started working with him. And then it was 2002 when he convinced me to quit my job because he was already working full time. I was helping him part time. And then he wanted me to quit my job. And I was like, well, gosh, now we're going to have to double what you're making as an artist to pay me to leave my insurance industry job. And so we did figure it out. And the multiple streams of income, and I'm just going to give you a general overview. Hold on. But before I do, I just want to tell everybody that this is an interactive call with Oliver and myself. So I want you to ask questions, leave comments. I'm going to bring you up on the screen. And I want to say a shout out to a few of our friends and mastermind member, Stephanie Fox. Hey, Stephanie from Ohio. Good to see you. Nick Smith. Good to see you, Nick. Wow. And then we've got Cami. What's up, Cami from Florida? She's one of our mastermind members. We've got John hailing from Detroit. And I feel like I'm like a radio show DJ. Remember the old fashioned radio shows? Anyway, and I always wanted to be one. So you guys are helping me live my little fantasy here. Tracy is saying hello from Cleveland, Ohio. I've been to Cleveland. Then we've got Burrito Art. I don't know your real name, but says stoked. And thanks for being here today. And I'm stoked you're here, Burrito. And of course, my lovely longtime artist friend, Joan Marie. Good to see your beautiful face. And then we've got Aaron's Welt from Vienna, Austria, which I've been there too recently. And then we've got Craig from New York. All right, let's see. We've got Nash Cox from Iowa. I just love how we have people from all over the world. Tracy McCarty used to live in San Clemente. Wow, Tracy. Well, you don't want to be here today because it is raining cats and dogs. Oh, we've got Steve Burrows. All right. Let me talk a little bit about multiple streams of income and multiple streams. Sorry, I got distracted by my timer going off. Why? I don't know. Multiple streams of income. And this is something that you probably heard before. A lot of business, masters of business talk about multiple streams of income. And what it means to me in the world of art is having multiple ways your art is making money for you. And some of those ways should be while you're sleeping. And so I'm just going to rattle off. And I took notes, but I did not write this down. So it's going to be off the top of my head. And Oliver, if you think of anything to ask me, please do. But I'm going to rattle off multiple streams of income that we have put in place for Drew Brophy's art. And it started with original art sales, paintings, creating paintings and sell them. And that's how a lot of artists begin, right? But we realized early on that painting a painting and selling it is like, and forgive this very crass way of putting it, but it's like digging a ditch. You dig the ditch, you get paid, and the next day, if you want to get paid again, you got to dig another ditch. And Drew and I realized early on, we live in San Clemente, California. It's an expensive place to live. We had a baby. We ended up raising another child. That's our niece. So we had 2 kids to raise. And we had to figure out how to make money in multiple ways with Drew's art. And so we started setting up systems. So we went from selling originals to selling art prints to licensing his art to doing live paintings and getting paid for it by corporate clients at corporate events. He would paint murals. We would do some corporate branding artwork. And that's what really helped bring in like huge amounts of money. And then we started doing print on demand, printing his art on products that we sold ourselves. And I'm sure there's a couple other things that I am just forgetting right now. I know, here's another thing that Drew came out with a couple books of his art, a coloring book, a how to draw book. We came out with, back in the day when you bought DVDs, we came out with a how to paint DVD using his painting techniques. So as you can see, we clicked in multiple streams of income. Now, all these years later, there are some streams of income that make a lot more money than others. And so those at the top of the list, selling art prints and print on demand reproductions of his art, and art licensing. And so I'm going to get into that in a little bit, but I want to before we bounce over to your way of doing it, Oliver, I just want to look through. I want to see if anybody has any questions. And no, but we've got a couple more people saying hello. And so that's the thinking behind multiple streams of income. And one last thing I want to say about it. You click in one stream of income, you get it going, you perfect it, then you click in another stream of income. So a very wealthy person, and I can't remember who it was, but because I read a lot of books and listen to a lot of podcasts, but one very successful person said that all the wealthy people out there, they have at least 7 streams of income. And so I've always kept that in my head, that I've got to have 7 different streams of income. And it can take 10 years to get that set up. But hey, the time's going to go by anyway, so you might as well get working on the first one today. And with that, all right, so why don't we switch gears, Oliver? Now, you're going to talk about how to sell art online, and this is something that you teach in our Art Money Success Mastermind, and you have a course in there. And some of the artists that go through the course, we have some of them having great results, like they're selling art through this system that you have. So will you share that with us?
Yes. So this system is it's It's very simple, but for most people, I mean, first of all, I think it's great for introverts because you don't need to go to an exhibition. You don't really need to go out and meet people, but you still need to talk to people, right? And so the system is based on building relationships, but all online. And basically, what it is like you go on Facebook and you look for Facebook groups, and you look for Facebook groups based on your ideal customer. And I define my ideal customer based on my purpose, not my art medium. Right? That's very important because I realize when you do that, you create a blue ocean and you have like basically no competition. But I think like a lot of artists, they struggle selling their art or finding people because they define their art through their medium, which can also work. I started like this too. But I had really the breakthrough when I started defining my ideal customer based on my purpose. Because then I found people. First of all, I knew I could find Facebook groups that are really good, like really like a lot of people, quite big Facebook groups, but with a really good community feeling. And then I was building relationship with these people, and it was very easy for me to build relationships with them because they were standing for and standing against the same things like I did. So I could talk to them all day long. So it felt kind of easy. And these people spend a lot of money. They spend thousands. I mean, that's actually when I switched from selling my art for like 1,000, sometimes even like 2,000, 3,000, to selling it for like 5,000 up to 24,000. I mean, these people spend so much money on my art. And I truly believe it's because I focused more on the purpose, like the meaning of my art rather than, trying to define my niche on the art medium. Yeah.
So, can you give one example of like how knowing the meaning of your art,
Hmm.
just give like a specific example of how that conversation went with a buyer?
Hmm. Yeah, so okay, so I always started in the community, right? I post in a group, I get lots of likes, lots of comments. Then I send every single person a message. The message is something like, hey Name, thanks so much for commenting or liking my post. I really appreciate it. How, like, what about my art resonated with you? Or like if it wasn't specific, like if their comment was not specifically about my art, I'm like, what about the post resonated with you? Or sometimes I literally just ask in the end, how are you? And I was actually looking back to the message with the collector that bought the painting for 24,000, and she spent like around, I don't know the exact number, I should calculate it, but it's probably 35,000 or more. That's what she spent on my art so far. And she only liked my post. She literally only liked my post. I sent her a message anyways, and I'm
So
like,
she
thanks
didn't
for
leave. So she didn't leave a comment, just a like.
just a like. And
Wow.
but that's my mindset. I was like, I wanna I was just like super proactive, and I didn't want to judge people, right? Yeah, it's like I just like sent everyone a message, even the people that liked, because it was potential clients for me. Everyone was a potential client that liked or commented my post. And I just asked her, how are you? Like first I said like, thanks for liking my art in the XYZ group. How are you? That's literally how I started, right? And I know many artists, especially in our mastermind, many artists are overthinking it.
Yeah.
And I literally just sent that. And this one message led to a 24,000 sale, right? So
$24,000.
yes,
And it started with somebody just liking a post and you reaching out. So how many
exactly.
people, I mean, I know there's so much to this, but and it is simple. It
Hmm.
is simple. If it's so simple and it works so well, and we know it does because we see
Hmm.
some of the artists and the mastermind, it's working for them. What
Hmm.
so why do you think more artists are not doing this now? And
Hmm.
I don't know if you even know have the answer to that, but I'm just curious, like,
Hmm.
why are more people not doing this? Because it does
Hmm.
work.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's several things. First of all, like I know it myself. A lot of artists really struggle making a choice. Right? It's like it's kind of nice having all these options and different ways of doing things, and like you have these tabs open in your brain of like, oh, I could do this, I could do that, but they're not really choosing a strategy. I think that's number one. So they're not really committing to this strategy. They think, oh, it's a strategy, it's out there, I could do it. And maybe they do it like here and there. Maybe they look for some Facebook groups and then they don't find any Facebook groups. And by the way, I Googled, like everybody that tells me I don't find a good Facebook group, this strategy isn't working, I won't take it, because there are, like, I think the number was like 9 million Facebook groups. It was like in the millions. There are millions of Facebook groups on Facebook. So nobody can tell me that they can't find a good group. Sometimes you need to think outside of the box. So that's another thing. It's maybe also, I don't know if it's not believing that the strategy works, but I think this is a big thing, right? It's like when you learn something from someone, and it's maybe you need to learn new skills, you need to get out of your comfort zone. It's like sometimes it's almost like easier to just give yourself a way out and say like, oh, this strategy anyways doesn't work, right? But it's like, for me, when I use this strategy, I was very introverted. I would say I'm still introverted. I mean, I enjoy being with people, but I also really enjoy being alone and do my own thing, right? So but when I switched that and started really making money with this strategy, it's when I was just really getting out of my comfort zone and knowing that if I want a different result, like I'm not making a living from art right now, but I want to, right? So if I want this different result, I somehow have to show up differently. So that was kind of my mindset. And I also had a full-time job, and I couldn't stand it anymore. I couldn't stand my boss. So I had a burning desire. I'm like, I couldn't take it anymore. So it's like I had this burning desire. Yeah, I couldn't wait anymore. So I couldn't look around for more strategies or continue in this space of like looking like shiny object. I was like, someone gave me this strategy right now. It was actually a coach coaching coaches. So it wasn't specifically for art, which was also cool because nobody really did. But so for me, it was even harder to believe that this strategy works. But I invested money in the coach, and then I had like urgency. I really wanted to quit my job. So I'm like, I just do it. I just commit to this strategy and do whatever he says. So I was literally following everything he said. And I still learned things in the process, and I put my own spin on it, but I really committed to the strategy, and it worked. Like the first time I used this strategy, in 45 days, I made 26,000. And that's like after signing up with my coach, right? And he wasn't an artist. He literally was a coach.
How much did you pay on the coach? How much did you pay on the coach? Do you remember?
It was actually, yeah. It was not that much. I mean, back then it was a lot. It was 1,000 per month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I paid. Though. That's $1,000 a month. That's $12,000 a year.
Yeah. I think I stayed with him for maybe 4 months. So maybe I paid it like 4 or 5 months. I paid 1,000 per month. So it is actually quite a lot. Yeah, I was like really not sure if I should do it, but I'm now used to investing in myself. So yeah.
But you made 24,000 in the first how many days?
26,000 in the first 45 days.
Mm-hmm. I love it. I mean, we talked about this before with the Facebook thing, but we didn't talk about how much you paid for the coaching. So basically, it cost you $5,000 to get somebody to coach you and convince you can do this, do what you want to do, and you made 26,000. So it cost you 5,000 to make 26,000. Not a bad return on investment. It's so funny. So there's a few things that I wrote down, and here you are telling this story, and I know. So I have been working with coaches most of my life. I've been coaching artists since 2009, so for a really long time. How old were you in 2009?
Oh, so that's like 11 years ago, right? No, yeah.
Yeah.
So I was.
I don't know. Wait a minute.
I was 19.
No, 2009. No, 2009 was 2009, 2019.
Our math.
Well, I can't math right now.
It's 11. Yeah, it's 11. Yeah. So I was 19.
Okay. All right. So anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm just having fun with this conversation, but here's what I want people to understand. People who are listening right now, it doesn't matter. Like the method that Oliver used to make $26,000 in less than 2 months, How he did it doesn't even matter. I mean, this is what I want everybody to get, because this is what I have been, oh my God, I have discovered, like, over the years, that I've been trying to figure out how to verbalize it and how to teach the artists in our mastermind this. But first of all, you invest in yourself. And it doesn't matter if you pay for a coach. What I mean is, you invest. And it could be as simple as investing in a book, okay? A book on audio, but you make an investment in yourself. You commit. Commitment is such a huge thing. You commit to this thing that you've invested in. And then you take action, but it has to be consistent action. Consistent. This is the difference between artists who are making a living with their art and doing really well, and artists who are not. This is it. And then here's the other thing that you said. That's another really important thing, and I want everybody to hear. And it is the belief that you can do it. Now you're hearing. So the first part of a belief is overcoming the belief that negates it. The belief that negates it is artists can't make good money with their art. Mm-hmm. That belief has been ingrained in you from the collective. How do you overcome that? You overcome it bit by bit. First, you spend a lot of time listening and talking and spending time with artists who are making a living with their art. And trust me, there's like 1 million of them in the United States alone. Okay. That's how you start to transform your belief. And then you start transforming the belief that, hey, maybe I can do this also. Now, the reason the belief is so important is because without it, you won't take the action necessary to get it. So if Oliver, so I'm going to break this down. You started working with a coach, and it wasn't even an art coach. It was a business coach.
Yeah.
And this business coach had a method of getting new clients. And you changed that method to getting art buyers. So you used the same method, but instead of trying to get coaching clients, you were getting people to buy art. You told yourself, okay, I think this is going to work. I'm putting my money down on this coach. I'm spending $1,000 a month. And now that I've invested $1,000 a month, I damn well better take the action. That's the magic of investing in something and then telling yourself, it's like, if you want to be an attorney, you don't say, well, gosh, I don't know if I can really be an attorney or not, but maybe I'll sign up for 4-year college and go to school for the next 4 years and see how it works out. No, once you enroll yourself in that college, you are committed. You're going to go through all the steps. You're going to learn all the things you have to learn at the end of it. When you graduate, now you know you've got what you need to be an attorney. You don't go to college for 1 month and go, well, it's not working. I'm not making money as an attorney yet. You got to there's a gestation period. And luckily with art, it's a lot faster than being an attorney. So
yeah,
let's take a second and some of these comments are funny.
Yeah, it threw me off. Like whenever it's really funny how my brain works. When numbers come up, it's like, especially if I'm live, it's like I cannot think anymore. But yeah, I was 14.
Oh, you were 14. So it's been 16 years since I started coaching artists. By the way, I want to mention anybody that we have a lot of our Artist Mastermind members on here right now because they show up for everything. They do the work. They're committed. They show up every Monday morning for our Monday morning sessions, which is part of the commitment and part of rewiring your brain to believe that what you want is possible. And then you can take this action. But for those of you who are on with us right now, listening, Oliver and I would love for you to join our mastermind. And we have a free 7-day trial, which we never do. And we're only doing it until the end of this month. And so click the link, and Oliver, you want to just actually I'll throw the link. I'll throw the link in there. Because I got it already. But click the link below in the comments here, and it's also in the description. All right, let's see. I love all these comments. It's so funny. Stephanie said she loves the mastermind, and well, we love you too, Stephanie. Stephanie, and remind me how long you've been in the mastermind. Throw that in the comments, because I know you've been a member for quite some time. I just don't remember how long. And we had one question. I'm going to go back to, I promised Charlene Marsh we would go back. We have two questions here that we're going to get to. Jody, we're going to get to your question also. And this doesn't really have to do with what Oliver was talking about, but I'm going to answer the question anyway, because I want to do it before I forget. Kind of unrelated to what we're talking about, but Charlene said one of her art coaches says, never discount, not even print on demand or merchandise. What are your thoughts on this? So my thoughts is, sometimes it's not a bad idea to discount, especially during Black Friday. So my husband, Drew, hates discounting anything, and we argue about it every year. But our advertising guy, Ben, who handles all of Drew's online art advertising, says, look, if you want to hit those big numbers at Christmas season, you have to do at least a minimum 20% discount. Caveat, we do not discount the original art. We don't discount the paintings. So that's not discounted, but we do discount the art prints. And I'll tell you, we've been doing a Black Friday sale on drewbrophyart.com this last week, an early Black Friday sale. And we've been, I don't have the numbers in front of me. I'm going off memory, like $2,000-$3,000 a day in sales of art prints. Not bad. Not bad. Do I regret doing a sale? No, because our art prints, I guess now's a good time to go into art prints, right? Oliver, should I go into that? Because that was one thing I was going to talk about, making serious money. Okay, good segue. And we talk about this a lot in the mastermind. The art print program that Drew and I have. And if you go back to what I was talking about earlier in this hour, I was talking about how if all you do is sell your originals, you have to paint, you have to sell, and then you got to paint again. And it's a constant grind. So Drew and I finally figured out a good 4 or 5 years ago, a really good process. We're selling Drew's art on canvas art prints and paper prints. And we have a system with a print on demand company. And I only share who I use with my mastermind members. Sorry, guys. But it doesn't matter. There's so many good companies out there. You don't have to use my company anyway. But the process is so amazing because we have it set up. Drew's got a Shopify website. Somebody orders a canvas print, and if we sell an unsigned print, which most of his prints are unsigned, it ships directly to the customer. We never even touch it, but we collect the money. We charge 4 to 5 times what it costs us. And our markup is pretty good. For example, if it costs us $100, we're selling it for about $600. Now, why do we mark it up so high? Number one, because we can. Number two, it enables us to sell it to retailers at a wholesale price. So what that means is a retailer could be an art gallery, or it could be a gift store at a hotel or any kind of retail store. If it retails for 600, we're going to sell it to them for 300. I've still got it marked up triple, right? So I'm still making money, even if I sell it to them at a wholesale price. Also, the other important thing is that when we mark it up that high, we are then able to have a Black Friday sale for 20% off, and it doesn't hurt us. We're still making money. And it pays for our advertising, because we spend a lot of money on advertising, which we've had my advertiser give a talk in the mastermind, and talking about how to advertise sales on Instagram and Facebook. And we also do a little bit of Google advertising as well, but not as much. So that's about our prints. And then I'm going to sit, let me see if anybody has any questions about that. Okay, Jody said, can you mention a few print on demand sites? Well, and that reminds me, one other thing we sell besides art prints is we do print on demand blankets. And I've got an example here if you're watching rather than just listening. This is one of the blankets we sell with Drew's art on it. And it's a fleece blanket. And, I don't remember the company, but I will share. We use Printify for the blankets, and then that's one of their vendors. And it integrates with Shopify. All right, so I'm not going to go deeper in all that because we only have about 15 minutes left. And let me see if there's any other questions here about any of this. I just want to share Jenny Keene. Hi, Jenny. Jenny said the mastermind's really good. I think it's excellent value. Jenny's one of the artists who always shows up on Mondays. She's always doing the work. Her art is beautiful and amazing. And she is in line to getting $15,000 a painting. And I'm so excited for that. Okay. And then Stephanie said she's been learning and following me since 2009. Thanks, Stephanie. Well, Stephanie, I feel like you and I go way back. Like, we just haven't met in person, like live yet, but we will. It's going to happen. All right, here's another question. Dreammaster asked, have you already talked about how to attract wealthy buyers you need for the larger pieces? So that is in one of my other videos. You're going to have to find it. I'm not going to get into that here because I want to stick to the topic. But absolutely, there are ways to attract wealthy buyers. Check out. And also, I want to say to everybody, if these topics interest you, please hit subscribe if you're following me. If you're on the YouTube channel, some of you are joining from other channels, but hit subscribe on the YouTube channel because Oliver is helping me come out with 2 videos a week. And he's really helped me a lot because he knows what artists want to know. I just kind of go about my life every day and I forget all the things that are in this head. So he pulls it out of me. And I really appreciate that you do that for me, Oliver, and for everybody else. All right. Nick said, what platforms do both of you find is the best investment for advertising? For Drew's art, our best platforms is Instagram and Facebook. That is where we get the most sales from. And I would actually say Facebook because there's more people with and Oliver, do you agree with that?
Yeah. I mean, most of my customers came from Facebook. It's like 98% or something like this. So, yeah.
I find that, and this is just for us now, every artist is different because every artist has a different fan base, a different audience. But with Drew's art, when we have sold art through Instagram, like where somebody sends a message and they want to buy an original painting, it's always the lower price stuff. But whenever we've had a customer buy off of Facebook, for some reason, and I think it's because older people are on Facebook. This is just my theory. I don't know how true it is. Older people have more money. Older people have more money. When you get older, you have more money. That's just the way it is, typically. Okay, let's see. Cammie said, Oliver, what do you message people when they like your art on Facebook?
Okay. So yeah, there are different variations. Like I say, thanks for liking my art in the XYZ group. I appreciate it. What about the post resonated with you, or what about the art resonated with you? If you want to be direct, you can just ask about the art, because then usually like they will tell you like it was not about the art, and then you kind of know. Or just like I said, like I literally sent her the message, thanks for liking my post. How are you doing? Just that, right? Or sometimes I'm writing like, how have you been these days? So a little bit longer than how are you? That's it. It's like I'm literally just trying to get them to answer, be polite, be nice, say thank you, and remind them that they liked the post or commented on the post, so they can remember, oh, that was the artist. That's it. So, but you don't need to overthink it. You test it. Like I literally test out these things. I do like 30 messages with how are you, 30 messages with what about the post resonates with you, 30 messages with what about the art resonated with you. And then I get feedback, and I see like what works.
And you made 30 messages to 30 different people.
Yeah, exactly.
I just want to clarify that.
Yeah,
Okay.
Not
because I know somebody's thinking that right now. Somebody's like, wait a minute. And I just want to say, for those of you, and Cammie's in them. Cammie, you're in our mastermind group. So in the classroom section of the mastermind, Oliver has a whole instructional course on this that tells you everything you need to know about how to find the groups, what to say to the people, how to get them to open their wallet and actually buy your art. And it really works. It works. And Oliver, how many hours is that course? I haven't taken your course yet. I'm sorry. I've been a little busy.
You're busy, yeah. I calculated, actually, I once looked, it's 10 hours of material, but that shouldn't like scare you or something, because like it's so in depth. If you do this once, you go through that, it's like all in your mind, and you know exactly what to do. You're never going to be confused. I mean, there will be questions, obviously, but that's what we have the mastermind for, to ask questions. And tomorrow, by the way, if for the mastermind members here, we have a social media Q&A tomorrow with me. So check the calendar.
In the mastermind. Okay, so that's a great reason for people to hit the free trial. Because if you're not in the mastermind, the Art Money Success Mastermind, join it for free for 7 days, and you can take Oliver's class tomorrow. He's doing a live session. And then the last thing we're going to talk about, well, wait a minute. We've got one more question on this, and then we'll move on to art licensing. Charlene asks, do you answer publicly in the chats, or do you private message? So do you answer publicly in the group is what she means, or do you send a private message?
So in the beginning, I did both. Like I actually replied to the comment and send a message, but like it can get a bit much. I mean, I still like to do both, but sometimes just send the message. But you definitely want to send the message. That's more important than the comment, because you want to have a conversation, right? You want to have the back and forth. Yeah.
Okay, great. And then before I go into art licensing, which is the last thing we're going to talk about, I just want to answer this question by Dreammaster. What time on Monday is the class? And what Dreammaster is referring to is our Minditation Monday session we have every single Monday. I usually guide it. Oliver's actually guiding this Monday because I'll be traveling, but I'll be on there listening. I'll be there. I just won't be guiding it. But yeah, so every Monday at 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, That's 11 p.m. East Coast time. That's what time in your part of the world, Oliver?
For me, it's 6 p.m. in
6
Bulgaria.
p.m.
Yeah,
in Bulgaria and London, that part of the world.
London.
Yeah,
London
London's
would
is
be
on the
4.
same. Oh,
No,
I thought it
it's
was the
2
same
hours
time.
behind.
Oh,
No.
okay. What do I know about that side of the world? I don't know. Okay. And what we do in Meditation Monday every week, we are essentially rewiring your brain for success. And Meditation Monday is only 30 minutes, but it sets you up for the week. And repetition is the secret to hitting your next level. And that's why we designed it this way. And then not everybody can make the Meditation Monday session, but we always have the replay. So a lot of members will listen to the replay later on that same day. It's definitely, like, for me, I love it. It sets my week up. And some of the things that we hear from the artists that do the Meditation Monday every week is, oh my God, like, this has changed my life, because I am now like thinking in new ways that I've never thought before. I'm seeing new opportunities I never saw before. I'm taking action I was afraid to take in the past, and I'm getting the results. And it's really just, that's what commitment and repetition does for us. Okay. Wendy asks, what does it cost? Well, the first 7 days are free. You got to click on the link and you will find out everything you need to know. I'm putting the link in there again. And it's, let me just say, it's way less than what Oliver paid, $1,000 a month when he got coaching years ago. Way less.
And by the way, if someone,
Yeah.
we didn't discuss that, but if someone wants to sign up for the yearly option, you save a lot. You will see how much you're going to save, and you get a bonus call with me for the yearly option for free. It's worth at 300.
Thank you for mentioning that. That's really crucial, because Oliver's one-on-one calls are normally 300 an hour. So you get quite the value. All right. So let's see. Another question. Debbie said, I'm only marking up my art prints 125%. I'm competing with my licensing. So how can I raise my prices if my prints are available lower elsewhere? Okay. Well, that's a conundrum, but every problem has its solution. Couple different ideas. One, you have a series of art that is separate from what's being licensed. And that artwork, you make that more valuable in some way. Maybe you're printing it on bigger canvas. Maybe you're printing it on a higher quality. Maybe you're making it available framed. Maybe, here we go. You're making it available signed and numbered. You could do like a signed and numbered of a certain, come up with a way to make it different from the art that's being licensed, that's cheaper. And it could be a completely different series. That's what you do. And if your art's being licensed and it's selling well, we know that your art sells. We know that people want it. We know that you've got the potential to make $1,000 a day on art print sales. Absolutely. I mean, look, my husband, Drew Brophy's art is not decorative art. It's not a normal piece of art that people would hang above their couch. And we do, not every month, but most months out of the year, we consistently do around $1,000 a day in art print sales. Online sales of reproductions. Now, it took us 4 years to get to that point. So I'm not going to tell you can do this overnight. But hey, what if 4 years ago we said, this is too hard. I can't figure it out. Never mind. Then today we wouldn't be doing almost 30,000 every month in reproduction sales. Yeah. So think of, the best things sometimes take time. You got to put them in place. All right.
And Maria, you know what? I think we should make a program about that. And basically, you learned from your mistakes too, right? So we can basically give this to artists, this strategy with a shortcut without doing all the mistakes and trying to figure it out on their own. That would be cool.
True, because there was nobody teaching how to do this, how to sell art
Yeah.
prints and make that much money online. There still is nobody teaching it. I mean, I share a lot of it with the artists in the mastermind, but I have not put together a course on it yet. And Oliver's been on my tail about that. Oliver's like, and
I want to do
Oliver,
it as
you're right.
well.
And
Yeah.
we're going to do it in the next 60 days. Oliver and I talked about the other, we haven't set the date yet, but in the mastermind, we are going to teach how we do this. It takes a lot of time for me to put all that together because I have to think about, it's a lot to put together. So, all right. In 3 minutes, because we've gone over and I have a meeting with my accountant in like 10 minutes. So, really quickly, I'm going to talk about the third thing that you can do to make big money with art. And it has to do with art licensing. And I have a video coming out. Oliver Oliver handles my videos for me, and I really appreciate that. Have you seen this video that I made about art licensing yet, Oliver? I put it anyway. This is coming out. So this is why you got to subscribe to my channel, my YouTube channel, because you do not want to miss the video I make on art licensing. But I'm going to give you the 3-minute thing. How much money can you make with art licensing? Well, sometimes you can do one license and make $120,000, which is what happened with this when we took Drew's painting called Grateful Tubes, and we did a deal with a company, and they made men and women's sexy quality underwear. And I know it's a weird thing, but let me tell you, if somebody, I don't regret it one bit. It was cool. And then here's another example of hats. We've got t-shirts. We've done water bottles. We've done, oh gosh, I don't have it here. It's in the other room and I can't grab it. But we just did a license with a company called Gibbons, where they make these balance boards and they put Drew's art on it. And it's amazing. That comes out next week. But licensing your art to companies to print on their products is such a great way to make money. Now, if you can picture your art on a particular type of product, if you know that it's going to look good, and you know if it is or not, right? Some art will and some art will not. Then there are opportunities. And I guess we kind of ran out of time. So let's see. We're going to wrap this up. But I want to look at these questions here. Ren said, have you all tried advertising? Yeah, we do advertising. I talked about that earlier. You might have just popped in and you missed it. So this recording is going to be available on YouTube. You can rewatch it if you missed the beginning. We talked about that. And I just want to thank you all for being here. Thank you all for being here. I want you to check out the mastermind if you're not a member of it. And many of you are. And I thank you for always showing up and being a part of this amazing community of artists where everybody's just creating a new reality for themselves. Oh, Melissa Murals. Melissa is one of the artists I occasionally send out to do jobs where I occasionally represent her. Melissa, we'll see you on Monday. Yay. And then we've got a lot of thank yous in there. Oliver, thank you for sharing your background. And you always inspire the hell out of me, by the way.
You too. I'm also always inspired. I want to learn more from you, like the print stuff, and yeah.
Yeah, there's so much to learn. And I spent a lot of time learning from other artists because there are multiple ways to do these things. Charlene said, I have the art licensing course. Is it up to date? Yes, it is. Nothing's changed in it. I do go in and update my courses a little bit here and there when necessary. And anybody that joins the mastermind, Art Licensing 101 course is you get for free, just so y'all know. And Debbie asked, please post a link for the mastermind. Debbie, there is a link in the description of, there should be a link in there in the description where you're watching this right now. And if you can't find it, go to my YouTube channel. If you're not on YouTube, because I know this is hitting Facebook and X as well, then go to the YouTube channel and you'll find it. All right. And with that, thank you, everybody. Love you. Mean it. Oliver, I'll see you later.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you, Maria. Thank you, guys.
Okay. Bye, everybody.
Bye.